All right, hello everybody. Sorry to kind of interrupt your conversations, but hello and welcome to the Discover Tohoku in Tokyo event. My name is Priscilla and I will be your main MC for today. First of all, I would like to thank the host, East Japan Railway Company, for this insightful event. If you could please give them a round of applause. All right, so next I would like to thank JAYTHREE and everyone else who has been involved in this project for the hard work they put into making this event work. If you could please also give them a round of applause. And last, but of course not least, a big thank you to all of you for joining us here today and for your ongoing understanding and cooperation throughout all the changes and all the moving around. So please also give yourselves a round of applause. So before we start, I would like to briefly explain today's schedule. So today's event will be divided into 3 parts. The first activity will be a virtual train tour. The second activity will be a traditional craft workshop, which will start at around 1:55. The last activity, which I believe is what most of you are probably all here for, is the sake tasting session, which will start at 2:25. Please feel free to take photos and videos during and after the event. And just to kind of, just as another note, if you could please make sure to use the hashtag Japan Rail Cafe Tokyo, hashtag SENPAI JAPAN when posting about this event. And you're, of course, more than welcome to post it on any social media platform, blog, or website. So before we move forward, I'd like to go through the safety protocol and other important details regarding the venue with you as well. In order to prevent the spread of COVID-19, we would like you to please keep your mask on at all times outside of eating or drinking. And also as a friendly reminder, even though I know that all of you probably already know, please just make sure to keep your masks over your nose and covered your entire lower half of the face. In addition, Japan Rail Cafe is also a non-smoking establishment, so if you could please be mindful of others and do not smoke inside the venue. So last and perhaps most importantly, there are no toilets for public use inside the cafe. Please refer to the current slide right over here to find the nearest toilets to the cafe. So that marks the end of the announcements. If anyone would like any clarification on anything that I just said, please raise your hand. All right, everyone seems to be all right then. In that case, the event will officially start at 1:30, so we do have about 8 minutes or so. In this time, if you could please use this time to, if you look over here, there's the mouth-watering bento that we will be giving to you later on today. Up until 1:30, if you could please take photos and just post it all over your social media or wherever you'd like to post it, we would be really, really happy to see them. And that'll be it from me. Thank you. All right, hello everybody. Sorry to kind of interrupt your conversation once more. We'll actually start a little bit ahead of schedule since everyone has kind of already taken photos of the bento. Of course, once again, you're able to take photos of the cafe and of course throughout the event. Anytime that you like, so please don't worry about that. But in that case, I would like to just go ahead and let's start the event. So thank you very much for waiting. And as you may already know, my name is Priscilla and I'll be your main MC for today. So just another quick update to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Of course, once more, we will unfortunately have to cancel the bento session from our schedule, but you will of course be able to take it home with you. So you can definitely take more pictures when you get home. And so with that, we will be starting the virtual train tour very shortly. And today's prefecture is Fukushima. For anyone who has been to Fukushima before, can you please raise your hand? Great, perfect. And I guess maybe the rest of you are maybe hoping to kind of head over there sometime. Yeah. So we are very lucky today to have Abe-san to come to this event and talk to us a little bit more about this about Fukushima as a prefecture, and if it is one of your two visit destinations, you may want to jot down some notes. So please help me in giving a warm welcome to Abe-san. Welcome, Abe-san.
Thank you very much, everyone. My name is Mitsuko Abe from Fukushima Prefecture government, and let me introduce. I give you this sake is Japanese sake, but umeshu. Usually umeshu use distilled liquor, but this is Japanese sake umeshu. And this is the most popular among girls, yogurt nihonshu. Later, you can taste them, okay? So anyway, 後で
Yes, we'll definitely be able to take more photos later on during the sake tasting session. So just some quick snaps, and I think it should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
take it away. Thank you.
Please enjoy them later. Okay. So let me introduce Fukushima Prefecture a little bit. Okay. So in my short time with you today, I'd like to talk about just some of the many highlights our prefecture has to offer. By the end of my presentation, I hope you will feel as if you discovered a new side of Fukushima that you didn't know before, and I hope you will feel excited to visit. Let's take a look at what spring is like in Fukushima. Sakura in full bloom at Tsurugajo Castle, the flower-covered fields of Hanamiyama, one of the biggest cherry blossom trees in Japan, Miharu Takizakura, literally means cherry blossom cascade. These are just some of the beautiful sights that can be enjoyed in spring. Unfortunately, last year and this year, we are not allowed to have big Hanami party under the cherry blossom trees because of the COVID-19. Maybe next year, let's have a big party to make some great memories in Fukushima. So we must express our gratitude from the bottom of our heart for the continuous support we have received from international society following the Great East Japan earthquake of 2011. Over the past 10 years, Fukushima has been making steady progress toward prefecture-wide revitalization. One example of how far we have come in 10 years is the holding of baseball and softball Olympic Games in Fukushima this summer. I'm sure you'll be able to see some great coverage of the events leading up to and on the day of these games. So please check out news stories online and on TV. On March 25th, Olympic torch relay started from Fukushima. Today, let's prepare Fukushima. Okay, let's go. from Tokyo in only 90 minutes by Shinkansen. Another news topic about revitalization in Fukushima was that the number of international tourists that visited Fukushima in 2018 finally bounced back to pre-disaster level. Just before COVID-19 pandemic, the number of tourists from overseas had been increasing dramatically. Why do many international tourists come to Fukushima? As you can see from our video, one of the reasons is the amazing snow quality in the ice ski region, which has been attracting the attention of skiers and snowboarders. You can also enjoy hot springs at many ski resorts. Fukushima is close to Tokyo. It is a place where you can enjoy powder snow and onsen at the same time. And whole April you can enjoy ski and snowboard. And that's not all. If you are interested in samurai, then Fukushima is the prefecture for you. The prefecture gave stage to the final large-scale battle of the 1868 Boxing War. That signified the end of samurai era. There are traditions and festivals which have continued since the samurai era, which you can still experience and participate in today. In particular, I recommend you to take part in a kendo experience. Learn kendo from an internationally known kendo legend, who will teach you all about the spirit and the discipline of samurai. So after the experience, I think you'll be a samurai-like person. We will have Samurai Kabuki Show. This show is held only 3 times a year. I'm sure you will have fun. After you are worked up an appetite at the kendo school or a kabuki show, how about trying some local delicacies? We have Kitakata ramen, one of the 3 major ramen in Japan, along with Sapporo miso ramen and Hakata tonkotsu ramen. There are 120 ramen shops in a small Kitakata city with a population of only 37,000. Kitakata is also blessed with abundant groundwater from the Ide mountain range. The brewing industry, like sake, miso, and soy sauce, has prospered since ancient times. So the ramen soup is so clear and smooth. Morning ramen, called asara, has been eaten by many locals as breakfast for about 50 years. Fukushima is also famous for its sake. The prefecture continues to win awards and recognition for its exceptional sake. Please come and taste the best ramen and the best sake in the world with their home place, Fukushima. So autumn is the season that Fukushima enjoys the highest number of international tourists. One of the reasons for this is that there are many wonderful places in Fukushima for viewing autumn leaves. Why don't you go cycling overlooking the Pacific Ocean or the autumn-colored lakeside? There are a wide variety of cycling courses, from easy ones to hard ones. Today, I'd like to introduce Oku Eyes area for you, which you can see in this video. Here, you can get a rare glimpse at uniquely Japanese rural scenery which international tourists often don't get the opportunity to enjoy. Taking in these views from the window of a local train is becoming more and more popular as a sightseeing experience among tourists. Please take a moment to imagine your own trip in Okuaizu. So how was your brief trip to Okuaizu? Did this presentation make you want to go there? Thank you. Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you the most important spot. We have a very famous circuit in Fukushima. Many international drivers come to this circuit called Ebisu Circuit to train drift technique. Of course, you can learn how to drift here, but I recommend you to try drift taxi. It's so exciting, but be careful not to hurt your neck nor pass out. So there is so much more to see in Fukushima. Please come to Fukushima and enjoy the sights, the tastes, and the experience of Fukushima. The people of Fukushima are looking forward to welcoming you with open arms. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Abe-san. Give her a big round of applause.
Thank you. Please come to Fukushima.
Thank you very much. All right, so as this is still playing, I hope that kind of convinces you to take a trip up to Fukushima. I know I definitely will be considering a trip sometime. So before we move on, I'd like to also inform you that just before with the sake, we will be tasting it at the sake tasting session, so please take your photos over there and really enjoy that. All right, so moving on. Sometimes traveling within Japan can be rather time-consuming, and I'm sure not everyone is really a fan of being stuck in the train for hours. But the train that we're actually going to introduce to you might make you wish that the ride was just a little bit longer. The train that we'll be introducing to you today is called Frutia Fukushima. So some of you may already know that Fukushima is Japan's fruit paradise per se, and on this train you'll be able to try out a huge selection of fruit cakes and desserts made by very well-known and highly acclaimed dessert stores. So let's welcome Ito-san from JR East View Travel Service to tell us more about this amazing train. Welcome, Ito-san. A round of applause.
Hello everyone, nice to meet you. Thank you for joining our event today. And my name is Tensei Ido. I'm a staff from the JR East Travel Information Counter, Japanero Cafe. Now I'd like to tell you about one of the joyful train named the Frutia Fukushima. And to get us started, next watch a short video about the Frutia Fukushima. Thank you. And now, as we watch the video again, I would like to introduce you to the attractive prawns of Frutia Fukushima. As you can guess from the trans name, it basically means fruits which you can enjoy eating in the tram, and tea as the concept of afternoon tea on the tram. It started to operate on April 2015 and running two sections between Kooriyama to Kitakata and Kooriyama to Sendai. Each tram schedule is different, depends on the theme, so please check our website. Thank you. And what makes this tram special is that provide on-board service. There are attendants who will offer sweet snacks which feature two types of sweet snack made from Fukushima's fruits and hot coffee or another beverage. Fukushima is known to produce a lot of fruits, including peach, pears, grapes, and more. Every month, the menu changes according to the fresh fruits in season, and bringing your origin craft desserts made with local produced fruits, please. And this is card number 2, box seating, for those wishing to enjoy a sweet snack and compression. These seats are for you. It will offer a relaxing time. Also, they will serve you different fruits, depends on season, so you can enjoy eating the best fruits. Thank you. And this is the car number 1, the cafe counter. The cafe counter is an excellent accompaniment to an elegant tram journey and has relaxing atmosphere. You can use this counter anytime if you want to see a beautiful view from the tram. Thank you. And after you get off from the tram, the wonderful sightseeing place around the way awaits you. The board that the lady is holding is one of the local produced board called Aizushiki. Also, these boards are very common among the elementary school, so some boards are used at the school lunch. Kitakata ramen is very famous in Kitakata City. And also there are other things to visit in this area. Aizu Wakamachi is known for permanent izakaya. And if you have a travel a little bit more, you can visit Sendai City, which has popular hot springs called Akiu Onsen. And don't forget to visit one of the free great view of Japan called Matsushima. Lastly, you can book this tram from the website as well as in the travel information counter. And please enjoy your wonderful tea time in Furudia, Fukushima, while you have wonderful foods and journey. Thank you for listening. And do you have some question about the tram? If you have the, I can. Okay.
Any like even anything to do with just the trip or like what you can see, like anything about that? Is there any other questions? No, not at the moment. All right, maybe we can talk about it later after the event over at the travel information counter. All right, thank you very much, Ito-san. Another round of applause. All right, so I hope you enjoyed your train journey. We will now be getting ready for the next activity. Meanwhile, please feel free to stretch and chat amongst yourselves and of course take photos of the lovely venue. So the starting time for our craft workshop will be at 1:55 around about. But once we get everything ready sooner, then we will make sure to make another announcement. So please be over at the workshop area, which is right behind you over there with all the paints and everything like that by the start time. Thank you. Hi, sorry everybody. Just to cut in, I'm so sorry. It seems that you're having such a lovely time with Abe-san here. Definitely come and talk to her maybe like after the event sometime. But we're just gonna go ahead with the traditional workshop. If you could please sit down at your workshop station. All right, so I believe everyone is ready and you should be at your stations right now. So we will be starting the Japanese traditional craft workshop. And today I actually have Ishi-san here with me that will be doing the correspondence in Japanese while I'll just focus on the translation for you all today. So we will be creating your own okiyagari koboshi doll, which literally translates to a small monk doll that gets up. And essentially, it is a Japanese equivalent of a roly-poly, if maybe you've heard of it, but with a traditional touch, and which would make a very unique gift to your loved ones, and a great addition to your home. So today we have Igarashi-san from Folk Craft Museum Matsuyoshi in the Aizu area of Fukushima Prefecture, who will be our instructor today for this workshop. So please please help me in giving her a warm welcome. Welcome Igarashi-san. A round of applause. 五十嵐さん、どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
よろしくお願いします。
今日はよろしくお願いします。今日は、最初の5分間だけお付き合いいただけるということで大丈夫でしょうか。はい。
はい、
この後また他の教室があるみたいなので、はい。じゃあ簡単に毛刈り講師とかのことをご紹介いただいて、それ同時通訳でプリシラの方が進めていきますのでよろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いいたします。
はい。
お願いします。
この起き上がりこぼしなんですが、会津の民芸品です。で、倒れても倒れても起き上がると言われている会津の昔からの民芸品になっております。
ありがとうございます。So this okiyagari koboshi, so it's a small doll that comes from the Aizu area in Fukushima Prefecture, and essentially, if you try, no matter how many times you try to knock it over, it comes back up, and that is kind of the symbol of this area as well.
はい、ありがとうございます。続きお願いします。
一応失敗しても起き上がって何度でも成功するという願いを込めてこの起き上がりこぼしは作られたと言われております。
ありがとうございます。So this okiyagari koboshi doll actually has a very, very beautiful meaning, and it's kind of this idea of that no matter how many times you fall down, no matter how many times you fail, you'll always get back up and you'll go stronger and you'll get stronger from there. And so it truly is a symbol of never giving up and kind of a sense of perseverance and resilience as well.
それでは、絵付けの方に始めたいと思います。
はい、
インクの
はい、お願いします。
インクの方が5種類あると思います。
So you should have your paints there, and there should be 5 different kinds of paints. If you could please just confirm that you have all the paints there with you. Yep, okay.
はい。
はい、全部揃ってます。はい。
はい。この5種類を混ぜて色を作ってもらうことも大丈夫です。
So you don't have to use the paint just as it is. You can mix them together with your brushes to create different kinds of combinations and different colors.
筆の方を使う際に水を洗った後、しっかり水を拭き取ってから次のインクに行っていただかないと色が混ざってしまうこともありますので気をつけてください。
はい、ありがとうございます。So each time you put down a color, the ink and the paint will obviously still stick on to the brush. So make sure that you use the water that you have with you right now to thoroughly clean the brush before you start painting. Otherwise, it will kind of mix and your colors will kind of go a little bit muddy and all that kind of stuff.
それでは、目を描いたり鼻を描いたりする人もいるんですが、 本来こういったものっていうのはないので、自由に書いてみてください。
ありがとうございます。So as you may see on your instruction sheet, there is a little picture of what the okiagari koboshi looks like, and that's kind of just the traditional look where draw the eyes and nose and whatnot. But you don't have to do that. You can actually just paint it however you like. So please don't think that you have to kind of match it. はい、すみません。通訳終わりました。はい。
はい、ありがとうございます。
はい、どうぞ。
あとはもう本当にご自由に、自由に書いていただいて大丈夫ですので、
はい、
始めてみてください。
はい、ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。So, yeah, you can just start ahead. You can just go ahead and start now. There isn't really anything. There are no restrictions to when you're doing this. Of course, make sure to be careful that to not get it on your clothes or anything like that. But yeah, please paint freely and kind of decorate it to however you like.
はい、じゃあすみません、五十嵐さん、今日はどうもありがとうございました。はい、
ありがとうございました
はい、また
もし
仕上がりとかはハッシュタグで、こう発信させていただきますので、ぜひご覧になっていただければと思います。はい、
はい、ぜひ
はい、
見させてくださ。
はいい、よろしくお願いします。
ありがとうございます。
何
ありがとう
か参加者の方たちになんか一言ございますか？
逆に質問があったら何でもお
そうです
答
ね
えしますね。
All right, so Igarashi-san unfortunately has another appointment straight after this, so she won't be able to stay until the very end of the workshop. But if you have absolutely any questions right now, maybe we can go and ask her. So please put your hand up if you have one. All good? Oh, yes. If you want to come to the front so we can ask her, and I'll just put the mic in front of you.
How fast does the color dry?
どうやってはい、その
乾く
ペイントに関してはどんな速さで
どのくらいの
乾きます
速さで、
かね。
はい、どのくらいの塗ったりするじゃない、塗った後どのくらいの速さで乾いちゃうんですかっていう。
はい。
はい、
それではですね、まあ5分ぐらいなんですが、乾いた後、また上塗りは可能なんです。
二度塗りができるということですね。
そうなんです。なので水玉にするとか、
はい、
下地を1回全部塗った後、
はい、
面を描くとかっていうのでも5分ぐらいを考えて、手につかない程度に乾いたら、
はい、
上塗りしてもらって大丈夫です。
なるほど。
はい、わかりました。
乾いた後にも何度も塗れたりできるしっていうことです。はい。
Okay, so it takes about 5 minutes to completely dry, and for you to be able to put
5分で乾くて5分ぐらいで乾くて
yeah 5 minutes 5分ですよね。So 5 minutes, yeah. So it takes about 5 minutes to completely dry, but you can still paint over it when it starts to dry a little bit more. But just to be careful, make sure that you don't touch where the wet areas. But yeah, so like essentially, if you paint the whole thing, then you have to wait 5 minutes to kind of so then you can paint over it. Yeah.
If I make a mistake, for example, and I want to erase it, can I use a towel, wet towel to erase it, or I have to paint over it?
ミスしちゃう場合、例えば起き上がりこぼしに、まあもともと黒でなんか塗りたかったんですけど、でもちょっとミスっちゃって他の色とかなんかつけちゃったら消せるんですかっていう質問がありまして、その場合はどうしますかね。はい。
消せはしないんですが、白で1回全部また上塗りすることは可能です。
はい、ありがとうございます。So essentially, if you do make a mistake on the area, you kind of just have to repaint over it. So for example, the white areas, if you paint over it with the color that you didn't want, then just have to repaint it with white, and then yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No, that's okay. Is there any other questions while Igarashi-san is still here with us? I think we're good. はい、これで質問が終わります。
以上になりますね。
はい、以上になります。
は
はい、すみません。
はい、じゃあ五十嵐さん、本当短い時間ですけどどうもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。A big round of applause for Igarashi-さん。
ありがとうございます。
All right, so we're very lucky to have Igarashi-san able to join us even for just a short couple of minutes. But if anyone needs more clarification, I can repeat the same points that she did mention earlier as you're doing your crafts. So we will give you a 5-minute warning. Just so then we can start packing up and all that kind of stuff later on. But for the meantime, please just continue working on your little crafts. At the same time, we will be having some staff that will be going around taking some photos, also maybe taking some videos to kind of see all around. And yeah, I hope you kind of enjoy what's going on. All right, so I can see that everyone is kind of really focusing right now, and it seems like there's some really interesting colors going on. This is going to be absolutely lovely on Instagram or on Facebook, so please do make sure that even when you're painting right now, do feel free to take as many photos as you like. Do remember that we're also live streaming this over on YouTube, so if you want to say hi to the bigger camera just over in the corner there with Amano-san, our cameraman, say hello to our virtual viewers, and I'm sure they would love to see your creations. Just as you're painting there, I'm just going to give you a couple more, some more background information on the okiagari koboshi. So if you didn't know, it has been said that it was made around 400 years ago, making it the oldest of Aizu's folk crafts. And it's also customary to buy one more than the number of family members that you have in your own family. And I think this is pretty much to represent, all your members of your family kind of each time, no matter how many times you fall down and fail, you will get back up and be stronger from there. So if you do ever go into the Aizu area, be sure to have a look and try to find your unique or even a ready-made okiagari koboshi. Furthermore, if you don't know, actually, Igarashi-san also does workshops over at the Matsuyoshi Folk Museum, and all the information is also on their Koshiki website, which is their homepage. And so, if you're ever interested in doing more workshops with this, and they also do other workshops as well, such as the akabeko, which is the traditional. The Fukushima. If you want to just look over, Abe-san will be coming around to show you the akabeko that's on her lanyard. Yeah, so you can actually do this workshop for the akabeko over in Fukushima as well. You may have seen this cute little cow all around earlier this year. As you may know, it is the year of the cow, so it is quite a cute little motif all over Japan. And yeah, you'll definitely be able to find some very, very nice souvenirs. All right, so we have some green action going on here. This looks absolutely stunning. We also have some pink. Is that pink I see? Do remember that the paint does take about 5 minutes to completely dry. It will start to dry immediately, so when you are touching your okiagari koboshi as you're painting, please be careful of your hands and of course your clothes. When paint gets on your clothes, it sure is hard to get out, so make sure to be careful about that. Furthermore, if you're running out of any kinds of colors as you're mixing, please put your hand up and staff will come and help you, and then we can definitely give you some more paint as well. That also goes the same for the water, I believe. All right, so what do we have back here? Oh, I see a cat face. That looks absolutely adorable. I'm sure our virtual viewers would be very, very happy to see that. Super cute. All right. It seems like everyone is really, really focusing, and I can see that your creations are kind of coming to life as they come through. Do remember that you can definitely have conversations as you're doing this. You don't have to do. Everyone is kind of quite serious at the moment, but that is absolutely fine. So just letting you know that since Igarashi-san did say that it takes about 5 minutes for your for the paint to dry, when we do go into the next session, you can just leave your okiagari koboshis just at the workshop table, so then we can let them dry. And then right at the very end of the event, you'll be able to pick it up and kind of take it home. just remember that if you do get your hands dirty, please feel free to use the wipes that are ready at your table to wipe your hands. Just remember that also to be careful of your clothing as well. So we do only have about 4 minutes left. Sorry, I missed the 1 minute, but just remember that we do need to be packing up soon or finishing it off. Of course, just leave your okiagari koboshis at your workshop table when they are done, so then we can just leave them out to dry, and then you can pick them back up right at the end of the event. All right, so in order to start the next event at 25 past, we do have some time for you to pack up, but if you could just put your last minute details on your okiagari koboshi, then we can kind of start the drying process and also kind of preparing for the next event. Oh wow, is that a cherry blossom tree that I see? That is absolutely beautiful. Stunning. It seems like everyone has a lot of different kinds of okiagari koboshi, as I can see there. Also, we have a traditional one right here. That looks very, very nice. Is that the same one that's on the picture? Oh, super cute. Look at that cute little smile. Beautiful. All right, and what do we have over here? Oh my gosh, that looks absolutely amazing. Can we get a close-up view on that? Oh, wow. That is a look. Stunning. Absolute fun stuff. All right, how about we go to the other table? Just have a quick look before we start. Oh, what is that? Oh, that is some eyeliner. Nice, beautiful eyes there. And we have some sakura. Very, very timely. That's absolutely stunning. All right, and then what do we have here? Oh, is that fire or is that hair? Stunning. Wish I could have that hair color. Wish I could pull it off. Nice. Very nice stuff. What do we have here? Some beautiful. Ooh, is that a character that I know? Is that who does anyone know this character? I feel like I've seen it before. Oh, Kakashi from Naruto? Is that it? Ah, yes, okay. I am a cultured individual. Yes. All right, so for some of you anime lovers, we'll be very, very happy with that. I hope our virtual viewers enjoyed that. That's absolutely nice. All right, everybody. Really sorry to kind of stop you there. We are running a little bit out of time, so if you could just quickly do your quick last-minute touches, and then if you could just leave your painted okiagari koboshi dolls out to dry, then we can kind of start with the event. So quickly take some photos before we move to the next event. For anyone who's already done, please move over to the main area now. Is anybody done? Okay, great. Yeah, so just leave them over there to dry, and then we'll get started for the next session. So since the next session is the sake, if you would like to please also clear out your table to just make way for the treats that you'll be able to try. We also do have a box for you to put all your stuff in there, so please make sure to use that. Oh, yes. Definitely use the wipes that are on your table to wipe your hands from the paint. All right, so as they start kind of drying, you'll be able to pick up your okiagari koboshi back up at the end of the event and kind of decorate your home with them. And I'm sure they'll make a lovely addition. Just a reminder to clear out your table, just so then we can have the sake that is coming. Yeah. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed your crafts, and of course, due to time constraints, unfortunately, we had to kind of stop there. But definitely feel free to carry on at home. And so we will now be starting the sake tasting session, and it is today's last activity. Oh, I can hear myself. So yeah, so it is today's last activity, and today we will be tasting sake from Yumegokoro Brewery, which produces some of the world's best sake in Fukushima Prefecture. So to kick this off, we will be connecting with our reporter Shimanaka-san, who is at the brewery right now. Shimanaka-san, 聞こえてますでしょうか？
はい、おかげさまで聞こえてますよ。
はい、どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
はい、お願いします。本日は、こちら、酒蔵、味噌蔵、さまざまな蔵がある昔ながらの町、またラーメンでも大変有名な町、 福島県喜多方市夢の酒造さんにお邪魔しております。
Hi, ありがとうございます。So we're here at Yumegokoro Brewery, and within Kitakata City, they have a sake brewery. They also have a place where they make miso. And so it's definitely an area that is rich in a lot of different kinds of things that you'll definitely would like to try.
こちら夢心酒造さんは向こう酒蔵とは違ってですね、アメリカの NASA みたいな、なんと最先端の酒蔵さんでもございます。
白中さんすみません、なんか一旦ちょっと音が切れてて、もう一度お願い説明してもいただけますでしょうか。
はい、わかりました。こちらの夢の酒造さん、昔ながらの酒蔵と思いきや、アメリカの NASA のような最先端の酒蔵さんなんです。
はい、ありがとうございます。Here today, we have the Yumegokoro Sake Brewery, and we'll have a representative coming in. And sorry, I just couldn't quite catch the. Is it the? We'll have another announcement later on. But just couldn't quite catch that last bit. But we will be explaining it a little bit later. But we do have like a special guest that we will be introducing. すみません、島中さん、どうぞよろしくお願いします。
はい、それでは本日のスペシャルゲストをご紹介したいと思います。夢心株式会社代表取締役社長、庄司信夫さんご紹介させてもらいます。どうぞ。
Round of applause.
こんにちは、夢心酒造の庄司です。今日はよろしくお願いします。
どうぞよろしくお願いします。So this is the representative of Yumegokoro Sake Brewery. This is Shoji-san. If you could give another round of applause. 庄司さん、どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
当社約140年前からお酒を作りしております。普段なかなか見学っていうのはやってないんですけども、今日特別に蔵の一部を皆様のために開放したいと思いますので、ぜひ見てください。
ありがとうございます。So this sakagura in particular has had a history of 1,400 years, I believe, and they don't usually this sakagura also does this sake brewery doesn't also usually do brewery tours, but today is a special occasion. ありがとうございます。庄司さんすみません。こちらにもスペシャル MC がいらっしゃってるんで、早速紹介したいと思っております。少々お待ちください。Okay, so like I mentioned before, we have a special MC here with us today. So just to give you a little bit of a background, just to make sure I don't get anything wrong. So he is also, so he's not somebody that is, he's not only somebody who is more passionate and in love with sake more than anyone else here, but he has also won the second annual Mr. Sake competition held by the Sake Culture Appreciation Society in 2018. Please give a warm welcome to John Townsend. A round of applause.
Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. Again, my name is John. I'm originally a translator and writer by trade, fell in love with sake, and I've made it kind of my life's work to spread the love and joy of sake with people like you and everyone. So I'm thrilled to be with you guys today for a very special occasion, a virtual sake tour of Yumegokoro Sake Brewery up in Kitakata City in Fukushima. We have Shoji-san. Mr. Shoji is the president and CEO of Yumegokoro Sake Brewery here to give us a look inside his brewery, which really most people don't get the opportunity to see. So yeah, it's actually very interesting. You'll see it for yourself, but even though it's a brewery with over 100 years of history, you'll see the facilities they have are just, it's amazing latest technology. It's like something out of NASA in the US. So yeah, I think you'll really enjoy taking a look at this. じゃあ、庄司さんぜひよろしくお願いします。
はい、じゃあよろしくお願いします。
お願いします。
早速、蔵の方に移動したいと思います。どうぞ。
So we're going inside the brewery now. An exclusive look inside Yumegokoro Sake Brewery.
まずね、蔵の大きさを説明したいと思います。今ちょっと道路を渡ります。
how they're going to cross the street, give you a look at kind of the outside of the brewery buildings before we go in to actually
今
see
ちょ
what.
うどですね、蔵の真ん中あたりに立っておりまして、今会社の敷地は、サッカーコート2面ぐらいの大きさになっております。
So right now they're about in the center of their whole brewery complex, which is pretty spacious. It's about the size of 2 soccer pitches, soccer fields.
はい、今日、仕込み蔵2棟ございまして、片方が1981年、片方が1988年に、作られた最新の、蔵でございます。
So basically, they have 2 main brewery buildings where they actually brew the sake. You can see they're dated. There's the Asahi Gura 1 and 2. The first one was built in 1981 and the other one in 1989, I believe it was. お願いします。
もしかしたらこの年にね生まれたお客さんもいるかもしれませんが、じゃあ蔵の中に入ります。
They're going to go inside the brewery buildings now to show you exactly where the sake is made.
ジョン、今日どのような国の人から来てんの？
そうですね。Shoji-san is curious where you are all originally from. You know,
So if we just want to kind of go around and
just quickly, you know.
all right, if you just want to shout out where you're from and kind of what you're
We can
representing.
tell. He's
America.
アメリカ人が一人で、オーストラリアの方を2人、オーストラリアの方が一人で、でドイツが一人で、
Anyone else?
でカナダが一人、ブラジルが1名で、
ワールドワイドですね。
モンテネグロも一人です。はい、お願いします。
で、これが、仕込みタンクの上の部分になります。
And this is where they actually conduct the fermentation of the sake. And you can,
こちらがタンクを制御する制御盤で、これで全部温度管理をしています。
and you can see this is actually a very rare sight among sake breweries. This amazing looking high-tech machine is basically allows them to monitor and control the condition of every one of the sake brewing tanks.
で、せっかくなので、タンクを覗いてみたいと思います。
And now he's actually going to take us for a look inside one of the sake tanks.
空のタンクですけど、どうぞ。
はい、お願いします。And here we're actually going inside. You can actually see, this is an empty tank, so you can actually see how it looks inside when there's no sake in it. お願いします。
中にプロペラがありますが、これで先を攪拌します。
And you can see here, actually, in more traditional breweries, you'll see all of them, you know, they'll actually stir the sake by hand, but these are all actually able to be machine controlled so they can control exactly the speed and the time at which they mix and stir the sake.
普段はこれは、手で攪拌するんですけど、うちの機械でもプロペラで回しています。
So it's actually, yeah, it's very rare among sake breweries that they're able to completely automate this process. Many places still do it the old way by hand. お願いします。
では、次はですね、このお酒が絞る前のお酒が入ったタンクを、見に行きます。
And Shoji-san just showed us an empty tank so you can see what it looks like. Now he's going to show one where the sake is actually, the sake before it's pressed is actually fermenting and being brewed right now.
では、これがもろみと言いまして、絞る前のお酒でございます。
And so we'll take a look inside the tank, and you'll see this is basically, you see the white substance that looks almost like kind of melted rice in there? That's what's called the moromi, or the mash. This is the sake before it's pressed to create the sake that you drink. This is what it looks like when it's still fermenting in the tanks.
だいたいこのような状態で1ヶ月で、お酒になります。
So basically, it will be in this state for about a month in the tank, and it'll gradually be broken down and kind of melted and broken down to produce what's eventually pressed into sake.
では、せっかくなので、攪拌してみます。
お願いします。So he's going to actually show us what it looks like when they stir it with the machine.
プロペラ出てきましたね。
Look at it. You can see how it's kind of that apparatus that you saw in the empty tank is now being controlled by the machine, and it's stirring the sake.
映画のジョーズのようなが出てきますので見ててください。
It kind of might remind you of the movie Jaws, seeing that it's almost like a shark's fin going through there, stirring the sake. the Moromi. なかなかいい映像ですね。立派ですね。
で、なかなかこの攪拌のところ見れるところ少ないので。
Yeah,
はい。
it's very rare that anybody outside the actual brewery staff will get the chance to see the sake in this state that is actually being stirred. So this is a pretty exclusive look that you guys are getting right now. いいですね。
では次ですね。このタンクの下の部分に移動したいと思います。
はい、お願いします。すごい臨場感あります。ありがとうございます。It's yeah, he's going to take us now to the to see the tank from the bottom, from underneath.
実はですね、タンクですが、あのタンクで一升瓶1万本作ります。
So if you're curious how much sake that tank can hold, it basically holds. Do you see these bottles here? This is what's called an ishobin in Japanese. It's 1.8 liters, and basically each 1万本ですね、ishobin.
はい。で、週に1本飲んでいただくと200年かかります。
So yeah, it's basically 10,000 of these bottles can be produced from the sake that's contained in one of those tanks. So basically, if you drank one every day, it would take you 200 years to drink them. お願いします。
ちょっと電波が悪いみたいで、島中さん。
こちらがさっきのタンクの下になりますので、はい。
島中さん、聞こえてますか？Sorry. Sorry, we just seem to be having a little bit of a difficulty over there. I think over at Yumegokoro.
はい。
大丈夫ですか？
大丈夫ですよ。はい。質問ですか？
いや、今一瞬ちょっと電波が悪くて、ちょっと固まっちゃったので、今のちょっとすいませんが、もう一回お願いします。
はい。一升瓶の話ですかね。
いや、タンクの下からの
はい。これがタンクの下でして、うちは珍しく球体になってます。
Okay, so you can see this is what the tank looks like on the bottom, and this is also actually pretty rare for brewing tanks. You can actually see it's kind of a rounded shape at the bottom.
これは、お米が攪拌しても、攪拌漏れがないタンクですね。
So basically, this rounded, the rounded bottom of the tank kind of ensures that when they stir it, it actually stirs it evenly throughout it. Like if it were not rounded, it might go further away from the apparatus and there might be a part that doesn't get properly stirred, but this ensures that it always stays close enough to the machinery to keep it stirring properly. お願いします。
では、タンクの、中を見てもらいます。
はい。So now we're actually taking a look inside the tank. You can feel like this is what it feels like if you were part of that sake mash that's about to be pressed to the sake. This is the sight you see. すごいですね。So you can see, yeah, this is the tank that you saw from above before. This is what it looks like from the bottom, looking up. はい、お願いします。
はい、ではですね、これで蔵を説明を終わりたいと思います。その次にテイスティングに行きたいと思います。
ありがとうございます。So this marks the end of the tour part of our sake session. And now Shoji-san is going to take us to the area where he's set up as a tasting area, so we can sample our sake together with Shoji-san.
If you'd like to just prepare for your tasting, so you should have three kinds of sake there with you.
And yeah, the three varieties of sake that you have in front of you are actually presented here in the same order from left to right. So that'll also be the order you'll be tasting them in, and Shoji-san will be kind to share a little explanation of each type of sake before you taste it. じゃあぜひ各種類を解説の方ぜひよろしくお願いします。
はい、まずこちらからですね、純米大吟醸の、7万でございます。香りをほのかにしています。
So the first sake that you see on your left, this is their Naraman brand Junmai Dai Ginjo. So it's actually one of the highest grades of sake. And it has just a very kind of light aroma, not too heavy, that you'll say.
で、味も、優しくしておりますので、いろんな料理に合いますね。
So the flavor is also, they design it to be a very kind of mellow and gentle flavor that can just go well with any type of food.
次でいいですか？
はい、お願いします。
次は
ぜひ、すいません、ちょっとまだ、皆さんちょっと飲まれてないみたいなので、
yes,
please,
go
please,
ahead.
by all means, take a sip of the first sake on your left. On your left. And by all means, take a sip, and if you have any impressions, please share them with us so we can share them with Shoji-san. ちょっと皆さんに今ちょっと飲んでいただいているので、ぜひ感想の方をShojiさんにちょっとお伝えしたいと思います。
Just to let you know that we also have some foods that are served with your sake here today. Just starting from the left-hand side, we have a pickled herring. And then from the middle, we have a pickled radish. And then on the very right-hand side of your tray, you should have a ika ninjin, which is some squid and carrots. So this should go very, very well with your sake.
And please, if you have any impressions at all, please, I'm sure Shoji-san would love to hear your thoughts.
Freely shout them. Freely shout your thoughts and feelings.
なんか大吟醸この一つ目はちょっと軽やかなすっきりしたなんか飲みやすい飲み口ですねっていう感想を今いただきました。
そうですね。本当いろんなもの食べながら飲んでいただきたいと思います。
Yeah, he says, yeah, it's really designed to kind of like not to get in the way of the food and just kind of go with anything really. はい、ありがとうございます。
次 OK ですか？
じゃあぜひお願いします。Okay, now Shoji-san is going to move on to tell us about the middle sake you have there.
2本目は7万の純米酒の濁り酒折り絡みです。
So this is their Junmai Origarami Naraman, which, as you can see, has a little bit of a cloudiness to it.
濁り酒、先ほどお見せしたタンクの白いものが若干残ってます。
So basically, as you saw, the sake, when it's in its pre-pressed state, it's that kind of white mixture, and this basically, it leaves some of that cloudiness from the mixture in the sake that's eventually pressed. It's called origarami, or cloudy, kind of semi-cloudy sake.
で、お酒まだ生きてますので、飲んでいただくとスパークリングを感じるかと思います。
And actually, the microorganisms that work at fermenting the sake, they're still alive in the sake. So you might get a little hint of a kind of a carbonation or a gas. That's not carbonated gas added. That's the sake still in its kind of living state.
ぜひスイスイ飲んでください。
Hi. Yeah. So please enjoy it and share your thoughts. なんか
感想あったらお願いします。
なんかすごいやっぱりシュワシュワ感がありますっていう感想をいただいてます。なんかすごい非常に美味しくて、ちょっとなんか冷やしてもちょっと常温に戻りつつあっても多分すごく美味しくいただけるような気がしますっていう感想を今いただきました。
はい、ありがとうございます。続きまして、3番目の7万の定番酒の純米酒です。
And now Shoji-san will explain to us the sake on your right. This is their Naraman Junmai, another one of their kind of representative main, products in their lineup. はい、お願いします。
すごいライトで軽やかにスイスイ飲める酒です。
So this is again a very kind of light and fresh sake that you don't get tired of drinking it. You can just pretty much drink it all night.
今日は多分冷やで飲んでますけども、多分おかんにしても美味しいお酒です。
So I think today it's a little bit chilled, kind of getting close to room temperature, but it's actually also delightful if served a little bit hot, as like kanzake, so a little bit heated. It's also perfect for that.
これこそいろんな料理に合いますので、ぜひ食べながら飲んでください。
はい、ありがとうございます。So yeah, especially this last one, it goes well with any kind of food. It just, the sake and the food really kind of bring out the best in each other. So, whether it's heated, chilled, room temperature, whatever you serve it with, it's kind of like a great all-round sake. If you have any impressions, by all means, share them.
多分全く違う味わいの3種類を今日選ばさせていただきました。
そうですね。So yeah, Shoji-san says that he tried to pick out 3 kind of completely different sakes. So each one kind of has a different flavor profile. You can kind of enjoy the various different flavors that are part of the Nanaman series.
皆さんは3種類でどれが一番好きだったんでしょうかね。
So do any of you have a favorite? So 大吟醸の方が2人で、折り紙が1人で、大吟醸が2人で、折り紙も2人で、全部っていう方もいます。で、最後の順番がいいっていう方もいらっしゃいます。本当に多分人の好みがそれぞれなんだけども、全部美味しい。皆さんちょっと自分の好みがあるみたいで、皆さんすごい今笑顔になってくれているので、間違いなく楽しんで美味しく飲んでくれていると思います。
せっかくなんでなんかね、僕に聞きたいことあったら何でも聞いてください。クエスチョンタイムです。
If you have any questions for Mr. Shoji, by all means. Ah, なんかその仕込みのタンクに関しての話なんですけど、いわゆるもっと昔ながらの作りの蔵の場合は、タンクっていうのは木造のタンクで仕込むっていう蔵もあるのか、それとも大体こういう金属のものがむしろ手でか乱する蔵でもなんかこういう金属のタンクになっているのでしょうかっていう質問です。
はい。今は陶器、ステンレス、ガラスが多いですからね。
So yeah, typically you get this kind of like stainless steel or glass tanks. Not really. You don't see wooden tanks for the actual the fermenting and the brewing. ガラスっていうのは、
あと昔の昔の文化に戻って今木で作ってるオペラさんも増えてきました。
And there are some breweries that are actually trying to kind of bring back very kind of ancient time-honored brewing methods, and those places might have wooden tanks too. なんかタンクの、木造だったりステンレスだったり、なんかそれによってこの出来上がるお酒の味とかってそれで変わってくるようなことってありますでしょうかっていう質問です。
僕はないと思います。
Shoji-san says he doesn't really think there's a difference. Maybe some people think otherwise, but he says, he doesn't think so. ありがとうございます。ちょっと待って。
時間なのでいいですか？
まだ大丈夫みたいなので、ちょっとまた質問がちょっと一つまた来ましたので、なんか酒造りの全過程っていうか一番のスタート時点からお酒が絞られて、お酒が出てくるっていうとか全体でどのくらいの期間になりますでしょうか？
そうですね。例えばゼロからスタートしまして約1ヶ月半ですね。でお酒が出来上がります。
So about 2.5 months from start to finish, and actually, like he said before, it spends about a month inside the tank, but then there's the process before that of like washing and steaming the rice, and then after that, so about 2.5 months altogether. ありがとうございます。
先ほどタンクで見せたのは1週間後に絞ります。
So what you saw in the tank before, yeah, in about one more week, that will be ready to press the sake that you saw inside the tank. ありがとうございます。あ、またちょっと質問がまた一つ来ましたので。
どうぞ。
まあ、そうですね。今回のちょっと今日選んでいただいた3種類って結構それぞれちょっとこうで味とかの特徴が違う。なんかその味の特徴っていうかその味のこう幅の広さってどういうなんか作りのどういうところでその味どういうところが一番その味にその影響を与えるのでしょうかっていう話です。
はい。作って絞った後にそのまま出すのか。火入れといって発酵の止めたりして出すのかによって味が分かれています。
So one of the major differences is after they press it, depending on how they store it, some of them are actually heat pasteurized before they're shipped. Others are kind of stored in their kind of unpasteurized raw. In Japanese, they say nama state. So that too will very much influence the flavor of the sake. ありがとうございます。他にちょっとまた質問がどんどん来てるみたいなので。
多分ジョンの方が答えられると思うので、これ終わった後ジョン答えてあげてください。
もちろんです。せっかくなんでちょっと庄司さんの声もお届けしたいと思っているので、はい。
はい、どうぞ。
ちょっとこうもしかして難しい質問かもしれないんですけど、ちょっとそういうなんか作り方はまあお米とお水なんですけど、こうどちらかといえばワインに近い作り方なのでしょうかっていう
そうですね、ワインと一緒です。ブドウなのかお米なのかの違いですね。あとそうです。
So yeah, it's a brewed liquor. So it's actually a brewed alcohol. So it's actually the brewing process is closer to wine as compared to say like a whiskey or a shochu, which is distilled alcohol. Is there a way to think that wine that the longer it stays, the better it gets? Like 追加の質問なんですけど、そのいわゆるこうワインのヴィンテージみたいに、例えばこう熟成させるとこう美味しくなるっていう概念は日本酒にもあるのでしょうかっていう質問です。
古酒っていう文化がありますので、だんだん甘くなって美味しくなると思いますけども、あとそれ人それぞれですね。僕は新しい方が好きです。
So yeah, there is a kind of a genre of sake called koshu, which is actually aged or matured sake. And so, yeah, it takes on a very kind of rich, almost like caramel type color, and the sweetness really comes out. But Shoji-san says it depends on the type of sake, whether they're actually suited for something like that. And he personally prefers freshly, new, fresh sake.
Okay, sorry to just jump in right there. That kind of we are kind of hitting the end of the event. If I could just leave the closing to John, then it would be really great.
庄司さん、いろいろご丁寧にありがとうございます。ちょっと時間が今ちょっと来てしまったみたいなので、本当にいろいろとお忙しい中、いろいろと貴重な話をありがとうございました。Let's give Shoji-san another round of applause. It's a great brewery tour right from the president of the brewery. So thank you very much. またぜひぜひまたよろしくお願いします。今日はありがとうございました。
ラーメンも美味しいですよ。
はい。
さっき食べたよ。
All right, another round of applause for John Townsend. Thank you very much. Okay, so coming around to you now should be the last sake, I believe. At the moment, that should be fine. You will be getting the additional sake that Abe-san was so kindly able to introduce to you later. So as you're kind of enjoying that, we'll be going ahead to the next section, which is the end of course, today's event. But I hope you did you did enjoy learning about Fukushima Prefecture and their traditional craft and sake. But if you don't already know, the JR East passes are now available to long-term visa holders as well as tourists. If you're interested in purchasing one or finding out some more information about the pass, the lovely staff at the travel information counter just over there would love to give you a consultation straight after this event. So please definitely head over there for your consultation. And if you have any questions, they'll definitely be able to answer it for you. So we would like to welcome a staff from Japan Rail Cafe to talk to you about this amazing pass. Please give them a round of applause.
Hello everyone. So this is Japan Rail Cafe Travel Information Counter over there. You can purchase JR Pass, JR train ticket, and welcome Suica here. Also, we offer travel plan for you, and accommodation booking is also available. We have professional travel advisor and free language speaker are always attending. Our recommendation is JR East Pass. It used to be for temporary visitor only, but now it's available for residents who have foreign passports from this coming April. There are two types of passes, JR East Pass Tohoku area and Nagano-Niigata area. Tohoku Pass is 20,000 yen and Nagano-Niigata Pass is 80,000 yen for an adult. Both of them can be used for consecutive 5 days. Original passport is necessary to purchase a pass. Tohoku has many sakura seeing spots, so please try the pass and visit Tohoku area. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the lovely explanation. All right, so be sure to definitely head over to the travel information counter just over there for your consultation. The warm staff are definitely going to help you out and answer all of your questions. They are professionals. All right, so that brings us to the end of today's event. A big thank you for participating in Discover Tohoku in Tokyo. Once again, you're also more than welcome to post about this event on your social media accounts with the hashtags Japan Rail Cafe Tokyo and #Senpai Japan. So one last thing, you have the surveys that are on your table right now. If you could please fill that out and then hand it over to the staff when you're finished, we will be able to collect that from you. Okay, and so that's pretty much from me. Before you leave, make sure to take all your belongings, and also do not forget your lovely, lovely okiagari koboshi. Please do not leave them behind. Please take them home. I'm sure they'll make a lovely addition to your rooms, or your living room, or your accommodation, or maybe even your desk at work. So thank you once again, and have a lovely day.